Hey everybody, here's how to run your own LLM. But why would you want to? Well, let's say you wanted to build something with AI. To do that, you would have to use one of their APIs so that way you can get all the utility. Given some input, let's get some output. ChatGPT, that's either $250 to $15 for input output for the tokens. And for tokens in this place, let's just pretend they're words. For Claude Code, that would be $5 per million tokens in, $25 per million tokens out. Now, you could use their existing plans. There's a $20 product for each one of them for like ChatGPT Plus, and you can use Codex, or with Claude, you can use Claude Code, which works great. It's $20, but then you're limited to what that product does. If you wanted to use AI in a new product and make something very novel and genuine, then you'd have to use the API. So what does this mean? What's up with these tokens and everything? Well, paying per word, you might not think a million words come up very quickly, but it actually does. We're going to look at that in this example. For this example, we're going to use Ollama. Ollama is an open source tool that Meta made, and it is free, which means, whatever it costs to power your computer. All right, so here's a little project I threw together to show how to use Ollama. I will put a link in the post with this video so that way you can access it. Overall, if you just go to the README and you follow the instructions, it'll take you step by step on how to get this going. But I'm going to explain it real quick. So right here, I'm going to start with some context for the LLM. I'm telling the LLM, hey, do work Cortana, budget edition, and then I give it a few rules. And then here in the main, I create a client. This is an Ollama client that is going to help me interact with the model. This is going to, right here, I made a function to ensure the model is running and that the model is now available. After that, I give it a system prompt, just kind of let the LLM know, like, hey, this is the system, this is not the user, and give it some information. Then after that, give a little print, ask the user for some input, and then start the conversation. Now this will keep looping until the user either types an exit or quit. After that's done, we shut down the model. I learned that I needed this because it runs in the background and will use up RAM. So if you're like me and you're playing a game, it will it'll make that game run pretty bad. Anyways, let's try it. So for my project, I use something called UV to handle my dependencies, my environments, and run my scripts, even though I'm in an environment right now. So I'm going to do UV run, and then I'm going to say Cortana chat. So say hi, see what happens. The cost of being free is it might take a while. Anyhow, so this is some logging just to get some background on what's going on. Here's the open source model, DeepSeek, and then down here is some thinking that the model is doing, and this is some feedback. So here's the final message for us though. Hello, thanks for the kind words. I'm glad you find me amusing. How can I assist you today? Could you tell me where the Covenant is? Because it's Cortana. Let's see how it reacts to a Halo question. Let's get about the Covenant. And you're mixing up your grammar, my friend. The Covenant. Oh, I'm not a good Halo fan. I misspelled it. Is a major enemy faction in the Halo universe. Okay, cool. Anyhow, that was fun. But this is generally how it's going to work. Let me type exit. Okay, cool. So now you have a rough idea of how to get it to work. It's pretty simple, pretty small. You can see everything right here and play around with it. But let's put it to work and see the affordability side of this. So here I have a couple of prompts here, a couple of tasks. One is a coding review. One is making a summary. I got it from Gemini of what this story says. And another one is given some... this one is the most impressive in my opinion. Given some text, please pull out some information. And I'm going to run through all three, see how it does, and also see what it would cost me, both with the LLM and if I was to run this with OpenAI or Anthropic. So let's see how that goes. So for this first one, we want to do a PR review on a function to tell if a string is a palindrome. Let's see what critiques it comes up with. How to handle empty string, handle a single character, alpha numeric strings, edge cases, docstring. Docstring's the first one I see that I actually like. Readability, maybe. Most of these seem to be taken care of in here. Oh, and it actually wrote a function. Nice. I wasn't expecting that. That's pretty cool. Okay, so let's look at the second prompt. So this is a fairy tale. I'm not going to read it all. If you want, you can pause and read it. But let's see what the synopsis is in 5 bullets. So I'm showing you the input. Here's the LLM's response. Unique ocean, weaver, merchant's offer. Okay, and then the weaving technique. Okay, cool. So, and even a takeaway. Nice, concise summary or spark notes. Okay, so this one is the one I'm most excited about. So given, the structure of the string, please pull out in JSON format the company, product, price, date, and notes. And it says, yesterday I bought a Logitech MX Master 3S for $89.99 from Amazon on March 3rd, 2026. It was on sale. So the company, Amazon, nice. The product, got it. Price, date, notes. It was on sale. This is great. I think it nailed this. So let's look at the money saving. Okay, so if this was done with Anthropic, kind of taking an average, this I didn't calculate this quite right, but around 5 cents. Okay, and then for OpenAI it would cost 3 cents. Now that might not seem like a lot, but these are pretty small things. If you had an app or some sort of product that many users were using, this would add up versus what we spent, which was fairly close to $0. So yeah, that's a little tutorial on how to run an LLM and build something with it. Feel free, go nuts. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you make anything cool, and if you have any questions.